Tonight I'm filled with righteous indignation. I want to define something for you tonight, the definition for pervert. It means to alter something from its original course, meaning, or state to a distortion or corruption of what was first intended. It means to lead someone away from what is considered right, natural, or acceptable. This book has been permitted in 6 schools in the Wake County public school system. This book explicitly details anal sex, blowjob tips, a response to a letter about gay sex, and BDSM. I'll read just a little bit of this perversion that we have allowed in the school system. So he bends me over the bed and drizzles some lube on my ass. I made him wear a condom, of course, and he starts pushing it in. And then we get to the blowjob tips. It says, use your lungs to suck, not your lips to pull. You're not trying to yank the D-I-C-K off with your mouth. You're trying to make it feel good. Use your tongue. Doesn't it make you cringe as I read that to you? I witnessed as each person came up and read different things from the books that's in the public school system here. You all cringe. You don't like it. You don't want to hear it aloud. You don't want anyone to read it. It makes you crawl in your skin. It's a dastardly deed. The question today is, who is the pervert that's allowing this to be purchased and delivered to our libraries? Come out from wherever you are. Who is the pervert that signs off on this filth? Who are you? You know, what do you stand for to accept this? Can you be in your right mind and be decent as a human to allow this to be at the access and the fingertips of children? Who is the pervert that thinks that this is okay? Who is the pervert that sits smug in the school board meeting while this takes place? Who is it? You don't have to answer that question. We know who the perverts are. There's one political party in this country that supports this junk. It's the Democrat Party. It's a party that castrates children, mutilates children, perverts children, grooms children, murders children, and indoctrinates children. We know who the perverts are. And NCAE, listen, you all have signed off on this, and it needs to be removed from every school.
Your time is up, sir. Our next speaker.
I'm here to discuss a series of books that's in 2 middle schools and 18 of the 34 high schools. This series is called Assassination Classroom. It has more than a dozen books in the series. I handed Mr. Blumberg a printout. I would have hoped you guys would have looked at it, but I guess I will have to show a few of the pictures here. It depicts murder in the classroom. It depicts some very despicable acts in the classroom. Some of the things that this book talks about is assassinate your teacher. I've been wanting to kill a teacher. So this book depicts killings, murders, and sexual images. Supposedly, it's rated ages 16 and up. And here's a quote what the author says about it. Kill is a fascinating word. It's often used but rarely put into action. So I decided to create a story centered around this unique word. If you enjoy it, you can kill me now and I'll die happy. One of the basic tenets of the United States is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yet this author wrote a series of books that speaks about killing, murder, and assassination. Now, I don't have to repeat what has happened these past few weeks, but that's the very antithesis of life. With these books available in middle schools and high schools in Wake County, what is the literary value of these books? What possibly could they teach that is positive and life-affirming? These books talk about killing teachers, murder, assassination. How can you, in good conscience, allow these in our schools? And some of you board members prattle on, some of the previous board members prattle on about these horrible acts of violence that have occurred in our society, where people have lost their lives. But you, Wake County School Board, allow these types of books in the schools, talking about assassinations of kids, of students, and then you wonder why there is violence. These books need to be removed from each public school library now. Wake County needs to have a public school rating system on these books that needs to be age appropriate. They need to warn of violence, of murder, assassination, inappropriate sex, any other topic that might need to be looked at. We need to develop this. We don't have it. We have the abilities. Please keep these types of books out of our kids. A 16-year-old, in my opinion, should not be reading a book talking about killing a teacher. Thank you.
We have got to stop erasing our children's innocence by talking about things that they are not able to handle. Let me explain something to you. There's a doctor named Dr. Judith Reisman. She has done decades of studies and put together studies from around the world that talk about what happens when you discuss sexual issues with children, whether it's in book form, whether it's in a video form, whether you talk about it. Let me tell you what happens to their brain. There's something called the frontal lobe, and it is well known that that frontal lobe is not developed until we're 25 or 26 years old. Do you know what pornography does to a young child's brain? It completely rewires it, and it makes them unable. You know what the frontal lobe is responsible for? It's for judgment. It's for social and for sexual behavior. It's also for understanding what the impact of a situation will be, a decision that you're making. And we are rewiring our children's brains when they are introduced, when they are talked about, when they are confronted with this adult issue. It changes their brain, it increases anxiety, increases depression, it is increasing the confusion of who they are as people. We've got to stop telling our children that they have a mental health disorder when they don't like their bodies, when they feel uncomfortable during puberty, when they don't like their voice change. That is natural, it is normal. We need to start telling our children that that is true. Stop making it normal to be abused. Stop making it normal to be sexually active in childhood. Stop making it normal for pedophiles to be attracted to children. This is wrong. It's happening in our schools. You just heard these books, and it's time for us to protect our kids.